put together in 1958. It's going through a 4-year, $400 million renovation. But tonight, the old dark black building is painted black with Sun Devils. As for the third straight year, the Pac-12 South may well run through the winner of tonight's game between UCLA and Arizona State. We're live. Hello, everyone. I'm Tim Brando. By my side is Joel Klatt. The impact of this one will echo throughout the remainder of the year.
There's no doubt about it. As a player, you love stages like this. This is the biggest stage you can get during the regular season. The Pac-12 South title is going to be decided, at least in part, tonight right here at Sun Devil Stadium.
Todd Graham is a promoter, and what he's selling, they are buying. But when you bring in a touch of Americana by honoring one of the all-time greats, and when we say that, we don't just mean Sun Devils, we mean Americans, Pat Tillman, that is something special. Inside the Tillman Tunnel, they come out, the Arizona State Sun Devils, looking to make hay at home. As big as this game is for the Sun Devils, it's also for a quarterback that everyone had in the Heisman hunt. Brett Hundley will be wearing a brace on that left elbow. What kind of impact it has, we really don't know. But what do you see for him tonight?
Well, you said Heisman, and this is what Heismans are all about. Stories and stages. You don't get a bigger stage than this, Brett Hundley, and there's not a better story than playing injured and leading your team to victory. Let's see if he can do it tonight.
And Jenny Taft is downstairs with more on tonight's matchup. Jenny?
Tim, thanks so much. With Taylor Kelly out tonight, that means Mike Bercovici will be making his first career start for ASU. And the junior is very confident going into this game. He's very respected by his teammates and coaches, and it definitely helps. The coach, Todd Graham, told us yesterday that the last person he's focusing on tonight is Bercovici. He's confident in what he can be doing. He's also very confident that he's going to make a big impact tonight. Bercovici told me his goal, make sure ASU stays undefeated until Taylor Kelly comes back, and that goal starts tonight.
There's Todd Graham, now in his third season as head coach here at Arizona State. Came in the very same year to the Pac-12 as that man, Jim Mora. Both are intense. Both have great quotes, but they're polar opposites in approach. Kalen Ballage is back deep. He'll take a knee. And let's get the three things that we need to know, Joel Klatt, when Arizona State has the football.
Let's start with Arizona State, and we'll start with their quarterback, Mike Bercovici. Only 14 completions in his 3 seasons, but one thing you got to know about him, he's a very inexperienced quarterback. And trust me, that does make sense. DJ Foster, he's their focal point. He's their engine to their offense. 216 all-purpose yards per game. That's second in college football. He's going to be shadowed all night by probably the most talented guy in the country, Myles Jack, the outside linebacker for the Bruins.
They go with a power set to open with DJ Foster. Boy, that's a name you're going to hear a lot tonight. And they go with the jet with Ballage. And Ballage takes it out ahead past the 35-yard line to the 38. Moreau, number 10, made the stop. That's Ballage, who is a freshman. Looked for him a lot of times in pass patterns as well. Fake it to him this time and come with rollout action, and it's incomplete. Intended for Jalen Strong, number 21.
Like what they're trying to do, trying to get him out of the pocket, Mike Bercovici in his first career start, and get him an easy completion. But the only problem is too many Bruins right in his face, including some contact on the very first snap that he's trying to throw the football.
Second down and 10. This read is to Foster. Stopped in a hurry. Myles Jack, the first to get there. He is so lightning quick at that linebacker position. Got a little help, too, from Clark in the middle. Vanderdoes and Odigizua are all very, very quick in that defensive front.
And the key is up there for the 3-man front. They take up blocks and allow guys like Kendricks and Myles Jack to roam free to make those tackles.
Third down and 9. Markers down, off the rollout. The pass is caught by Strong at midfield, but we'll have to check the marker.
Should just be an offside. This will stand for Bercovici's first completion of the game.
Had only 14 when coming in.
Offside defense number 58. Penalties decline. First down.
Tim, they do this so well at Arizona State, probably as good as anybody in the country. Soft rollout, throwing the back shoulder fade, and the key to it is that the wide receiver presses that route deep before he drops out.
Out of the gun with Foster behind him. Bercovici again looking for that quick out for Demarie Nelson, number 12, who will play a great deal tonight. He's sort of a Tasmanian devil type of player.
He's one of my favorite players.
Oh,
he really is. He's a two-way guy. He's going to play rush in for the defense, and he'll be out there on tight end. They got to limit his snaps, though. It is close to 90 degrees here in Tempe.
3 wides, and it's Foster. Good penetration that time by the UCLA defensive front. Odigizua the first to get through there.
The first real critical third down for Bercovici in scoring territory. He's got to understand that he's got points. They're in field goal range. Can't force the ball in this situation.
And an outstanding field goal kicker they have, an all Pac-12 performer in Zane Gonzalez. Incomplete. Jack was over there to help provide coverage against Foster. And a good peel back on the part of Eric Kendricks as well. An unsung star of this defense.
Jack is dropping out from the front, and he gets his hands on him just a little bit. I don't think he affected the route at all. I thought the ball was just thrown too early for Foster, trying to get out of his route, and that can happen with an inexperienced quarterback now. That heart rate starts to go, and the timing for the quarterback is quicker than it is for the wide receiver.
Gonzalez hit for 138 points a year ago in his all Pac-12 season. This boot right through the uprights. He has been consistent throughout. This time from 49 yards.
But the key guy on this, Ishmael Adams.
Yeah.
Arizona State's coaches talked about all week to us about how they've got to contain number 1 from UCLA, Ishmael Adams, one of the best returners in the Pac-12, if not the country.
Got to be careful of angling it out of bounds and surrendering too much good field position. As a result, they go right to him. He loves to dance and prance, and he brings it out. Markers down, he stays alive and is corralled at the 25-yard line. Joel, let's get your 4 keys to tonight's game.
For UCLA, they got to find consistency. Only 1 score wins in their first 3 wins. For Arizona State, a fast start. They've outscored their opponents 53-7 so far this year. Already a good start at 3-0 tonight.
2nd and 11. Not much room for Perkins up front, running right into DJ Calhoun, the freshman from El Cerrito, California. A lot of talent from the Los Angeles area playing at Arizona State, and vice versa. One of the reasons for the rivalry between these two teams. It's a recruiting game, too, in many respects for these third-year coaches. 3rd down and 9. Fuller in motion. Hundley dumps it underneath, and it's dropped. Kenneth Walker did not reel it in, thrown a little behind him, but he may have heard footsteps too, and it'll be a punt formation coming up for UCLA.
This is the first ball that wasn't accurately thrown from Hundley. Always hard to hit that crossing route once it gets past the football. Once it gets all the way outside of that hash mark, much more difficult.
Mingle punts it away with Demarius Randall backing up, and on the seat of his pants takes it at the 27-yard line. DJ Foster, Scottsdale, Arizona. Young man that you may not have heard much about, but boy is he productive. He'll be on display next. 3-0 our score. Arizona State with the lead. Do we have a fumble? I believe we do. Kendricks comes out of there with it. Eric Kendricks, who always seemingly is around the ball. And the first big turnover of the night goes to UCLA. Foster gives it up. He was stripped. Beautifully done.
That was Eddie Vanderdoes.
Yep.
It's just the question is, does he corral that? He does before he touches that out of bounds line, didn't he, Mike?
He did. Yeah, no need to review it. Hundley again. Boy, they've been throwing that curl pattern very well all evening long. This time the favorite target, Jordan Payton. He had the game winner from Neuheisel in Jerry World 12 days ago.
And for the first time, we've seen now Brett Hundley had to deliver a ball with pressure in his face. He had a Sun Devil bearing down on him because he held the ball in the pocket, was still able to get it down there accurately for a first down.
Quishy Brown made the stop. On first down from the 17, it's Perkins ahead for 4.
I want to go back to that third down because there is pressure late. Initially, excellent protection from the offensive line, and the stunt actually gets to him, and it's coming right towards that left arm, but he hangs in there and still throws an accurate ball. That tells me the elbow's not bothering Brett Hundley at all in this game.
Second down and 5. Little shovel pass to Aese, and it doesn't work. Nate Aese, he's a load, 6'3", 250. Nothing doing that time. Stopped in a hurry. Cherry was there. He checks out of the game.
You know, it's so critical on those shovel passes that the offensive line doesn't get pushed back into the backfield. And Alex Redmond, the left guard, number 51, got pushed back right in the Ase's back.
Third down and 7. We'll be curious to see if Arizona State comes with pressure. Fuller in motion. Here it comes. Hundley in trouble and sacked. First one of the night for the Sun Devils. They saw something in there, and it's Edmund Boateng, 97, that got him.
One of the many junior college transfers on this defense. And this is something that they hadn't been able to do in the first 3 games, was get pressure to the quarterback, or as they say it, affect the quarterback. Boateng affects Brett Hundley and forces the field goal there.
That 36-yard attempt is good. Fairbairn puts it through, and we're tied at 3. The fumble recovery for the Bruins. The key. The Sun Devils and UCLA are deadlocked in the Pac-12. Here in the first quarter, 6:53 remaining, and we're tied at 3 apiece. Number 11 UCLA, number 15 Arizona State. Balaj is back deep for the Sun Devils. Fairbairn boots it, and again too deep to bring out. Balaj again cuts it back the other way. Nice move, and that should be a first down. Ishmael Adams makes the tackle. There he is, designated assistant coach and cheerleader tonight. Taylor Kelly. They hope to get him back as soon as perhaps the next game, which is important, by the way. The gauntlet has begun. USC is next. Balaj forges ahead for another great game.
Tim, I tell you what, this player, Kalen Balaj, is one of the best looking true freshmen that I've seen. He's 6'3", 220 pounds, a true freshman from Peyton, Colorado. They're able to wrest him away from the Buffaloes. Comes down to Arizona State, scored on a screen pass against Colorado in Boulder in their last outing. And now you can tell he's on the field more and more as this season goes along, understanding and fighting that learning curve on offense.
Out of the gun, Bercovici with Balaj behind him. The extra tight end is Cole, 83. Stays in for protection purposes. And that out pattern is caught. That's Cameron Smith. Just inside midfield to the 47-yard line. Emerging as the number 2 receiver to Jalen Strong.
Bercovici had to get all the way back to this in the progression. He started on the left side and he comes all the way across the field versus a pressure. So great protection from the offensive line.
16 yards and a first down. Over the top, and it's good. Strong Well, you talk about throwing a guy open. That's exactly what Bercovici did there.
And that's the type of throw that's going to develop confidence for Mike Bercovici. That was on the money. What a terrific throw to Strong.
25 yards and another first down. Picking up the pace here as the quick screen, slipping it out to Foster. They'll line him up there a lot. It's first and goal, Arizona State.
Tempo, tempo, tempo. Here they come.
Don't blink. But they are reading. Balaj and Foster went inside. Kenny Young, 42, the freshman from New Orleans, out of John Curtis, one of the legendary high schools in that area, coming up to make the stop. Second down and goal. Foster, the lone setback. Rollout action, blitz off the corner, the other way, touchdown, Cody Cole. How do you do?
Rolling out to his right, waiting for the tight end, wide receiver, to come all the way back to the left side of the formation. Excellent play design, only bettered by Bercovici's execution.
First career touchdown catch for Cody Cole. He had been a designated H-back until that play. How about the move that set up the touchdown, though? In so many ways, this was huge right here. That got him on the doorstep. And then they decided to exploit UCLA's own team speed. A little misdirection aerial. Touchdown, Arizona State. Arizona State, off of the Cody Cole reception, leads at 10-3. 9 plays, 75 yards, 3:10 off the clock before his first career touchdown catch. Ishmael Adams from the goal line. Look out, he's got some space. Can he get to the edge? The stiff arm helps. Oh, a high hurdling move, and he was undercut by Garut, the kicker. And that saved what could have been a foot race to the end zone.
That was the last line of defense for Arizona State. And the kicker comes up with a huge tackle. Adams killed Arizona State a year ago in the Rose Bowl. The Sun Devils ended up winning that game, but special teams was a failure for the Sun Devils in that game. And Adams does it again, changing the field position in this game after the first score.
From the 44-yard line, first down. Quick slant, and it's wide open to Duarte. He stays on his feet down to the 13-yard line. Bruins with a first down.
A totally busted coverage. They tried to bring a pressure, and nobody covered the slot receiver, Duarte.
Mogiolo saved the touchdown. 43 yards on the game. Perkins remains the setback. Stopped for little or no gain. Tashawn Smallwood, number 90, the freshman from Fresno Central High School, making the tackle. This offensive line of UCLA does have its center back, its signal caller, Jake Brindle. That makes a difference. Perkins remains the setback. On 2nd and 10, goes fade pattern in the corner, broken up beautifully. Quishy Brown did the job against Jordan Payton that time. Mano a mano, two of the best players on the field.
And another one of those JUCO transfers from Grossmont College. He was a junior college All-American. Great ball skills is what they told us about Quishy Brown, and he showed it on that play.
Out of El Cajon, California, by way of Grossmont College. 3rd down 10. Trips to the top of your screen, Peyton to the bottom. Hundley with the cross to Duarte. Stopped at the 7-yard line. Good hit that time by Jordan Simone. Young man who had an unbelievable game. 13 tackles against Colorado, a forced fumble and a pick.
He was originally a walk-on at Washington State, followed his coach, Chris Ball, down from Washington State to Arizona State, has earned a scholarship here, and that's a reason why. A terrific tackler in the open field. That tackle will force the field goal try of Fairbairn. 24 yards the attempt out of the hold of Jerry Neuhauser. So the Bruins come back. The big 43-yard connection to Duarte on the busted coverage, the key element as UCLA answers to make it a 10-6 game. Balazs again back deep, but it's sent way too far back, and a fair catch taken and a touchback. DeAndre Lewis, number 5, is the running back, and he gets it right away, making an impact for a first down. Odigizua made the tackle, number 94. 13 yards the pickup to DeAndre Lewis, redshirt senior from Norco, California. Lewis remains in the game. Little slip screen out to Jalen Strong. His tight ropes down the sidelines to the 40-yard line of UCLA. I love the game plan so far, getting everybody involved. Balazs, Demario Richard, DJ Foster, Jalen Strong. Cody Cole catches a touchdown pass. Everybody is touching the football in Mike Norvell's offense.
They got Richard set out wide from the running back position. That one's dropped by DeAndre Lewis. He had a little room too.
Bercovici was under some serious pressure. I believe that was Eddie Vanderdoes, a 300-pound defensive end. There's Mike Norvell putting together this game plan, always trying to get people involved. Told us that was one of his goals early in this game, and that's a goal that he's achieved.
Yeah, the big deal with Norvell was just don't turn it over. They only had 1 interception. Foster. Well, you just have to love the way he picks his spots. He can turn it on, sort of dead leg you from time to time. Anthony Jefferson made the stop. A little stop and go in his game.
If you're going to define a run like that one, it was maybe the ugliest 9.5-yard run, because it was just patient. He just waited for his blockers, and that's an excellent coaching tool for a guy trying to teach a running back how to use his blockers. He didn't do anything flashy. He just gets himself in position now to convert on a 3rd down.
You get a graphic alongside Maurice Jones-Drew in this conference that says a lot. You will know a lot more about him after tonight. DJ Foster and Mike Bercovici making a difference. Sun Devils lead the Bruins into the first quarter. Sun setting here in the Buttes of Tempe, Arizona. I was only treadmilling. My partner was actually running in the Buttes today. Joel Klatt by my side. Very entertaining first quarter. In a lot of ways, Arizona State dictating pace of play, though.
Yeah, their tempo has been outstanding on the offensive side. In fact, they've only run 24 plays, but on 10 of them, they've actually converted a first down, and now that's 11 on 25 plays. So over 40% of the time, they're converting when they're snapping the football.
Bercovici right away, taking it inside. Gets the first down. The play fake, looking long, and touchdown, Cameron Smith. "29 yards, and he beat 2 Bruins in the process." We normally get touchdowns on the opening play of the game. This time it was the second play of the second quarter. Gonzalez with the extra point. Mike Bercovici, redshirt junior, has answered the test. First career start, waited a while.
What a throw. On the money.
Textbook. Along with Joel Klatt, Jenny Taft, and Mike Pereira. Tim Brando, happy to have you with us in Sun Devil Stadium on blackout night. UCLA has had to fight from behind before. They'll have to do it again tonight. Adams is back deep, and Garrett's boot from a yard deep. Well, he tried to make a move and hesitated and paid the price as a result. Demarius Randall stops him at the 15. Well, they actually mark it at the 12 for the Bruins. And Jordan James forges ahead to the 15. Gain of 3, 2nd and 7 coming up. Look at the quarterback comparison, and it's been a blowout for Bercovici to this point. Now, Hundley has had a couple of drops to deal with. Jordan James, the lone setback. That's Devin Fuller in motion on 2nd and 8. Fuller will get it on the quick wide receiver screen. Stopped just shy of the 20-yard line. Game tackled. That's Antonio Longino, 32. But he had plenty of help.
This is when you got to understand as a quarterback and a play caller, Noel Mazzoni needs to give his quarterback, Brett Hundley, the best possible scenario right now, because you cannot punt the ball back to this offense. This 3rd down is crucial in this ball game.
They need to. Well, the slant is there, and it's good for a 1st down. And more. Look out. Massington, Eldridge Massington, he's going to take it all the way for UCLA. A redshirt freshman from Mesquite, Texas, West Mesquite High School, and he knew exactly what to do with it after he took it in. And it was a dart that was thrown to him.
And just a simple route. I talked about the play call. Look at him. He goes and he sits in the zone and he just waits for the football. Excellent patience from the wide receiver. And now it's all about the Jets. Nobody left for Arizona State. That's a defense that loves to take chances. And Massington ends up in the end zone. What a critical. Listen, it was just about the 1st down for me. The touchdown is just icing on the cake. They had to keep that offense on the sidelines. Unfortunately for UCLA, they're going to give the ball right back to that offense that's in a great rhythm.
Kaimi Fairbairn for the extra point. Some fireworks to open the 2nd quarter. Arizona State gets a quick strike, and the Bruins go Massington way to bring themselves right back into it. 17-13 our score. Arizona State with the lead, but the Bruins just hit them with a big-time touchdown of 80 yards to Eldridge Massington. Here's Balaj, a yard deep, finally gets to bring one out. Catapults to about the 15-yard line. DeAndre Lewis is checked back in on 1st and 10. Bercovici keeps it, and you think, well, okay, he's not Taylor Kelly, but guess what? He's resourceful enough.
And he got a great block from Demarie Nelson. Nelson, the 2-way player, the tight end, was out blocking the corner. Moreau, excellent job.
12 yards and a 1st down. Lewis keeps those legs churning. Stopped by Miles Jack.
Tim, UCLA isn't even paying attention to Mike Bercovici in that run game. That's why that quarterback run was so open. It looks like to me that they're calling that zone play to the tailback, and they're not allowing him to read the zone read for the quarterback run. But as UCLA starts to commit their defensive ends to the tailback, look for Mike Bercovici to have much more yardage around the edge like he did on his last carry.
Foster has come back in. Nelson was the motion man. Bercovici going over the top for Strong. That one may be picked off. It is. Anthony Jefferson takes it away.
That is one of the best interceptions I've seen this year. Jefferson had his back to the quarterback and was still able to pick that ball off. It's so difficult to keep up with a physical receiver from the line of scrimmage in a bump technique, and he's still able to get there, get his hand up, and intercept the ball. That's amazing.
That's grand larceny there.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, he read the receiver. That is textbook. You could almost say he's close to face guarding there, and then, he turns around and makes the play. And that gives Hundley a little something to work with here, and he's got wide open spaces. Peripheral vision coming in handy there for Hundley. He gets it to the 35.
I want to take you back to what Perkins was able to do right when he gets the ball. A little delay, and right there, bang, there's somebody in the hole. He's got to go all the way to the outside. He gets there and then makes another ASU guy miss for the first down. What a run that was.
Like the ball adjustment, too, knowing he was headed to the boundary. Got the ball in that left arm to protect himself from a fumble. James is in for him now. Wide receiver screen out to Lucien. Devin Lucien with his first catch of the night. Demarius Randall was there to make the tackle.
Randall is such a fast flow player. He takes chances from his safety position. I love the way he plays, though. He's just aggressive at all times. At times that can hurt ASU, and they've had big plays thrown over the top. But boy, that aggressiveness you would just love to have. He makes more tackles for loss or near the line of scrimmage than most safeties I've seen on tape.
Lucien gets the first down from the 37-yard line. Again, Hundley stepping up in the pocket and finding Duarte. Thomas Duarte down to the 32-yard line of Arizona State. Jordan Simone makes the tackle.
Brett Hundley channeling his inner Russell Wilson. It's the escapability in order to throw the ball down the field that makes him so dangerous, and he just shows it to Duarte.
James burrows inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
That last play was the primary example of why a lot of NFL scouts are going to look at Brett Hundley and love what they see, especially with what Russell Wilson is doing at Seattle.
Hundley swings it out to Fuller again. Boy, the yards after catch for the UCLA receivers. Massington on the touchdown, Fuller there. I mean, they've had their fair share of contact, and then yards after tonight.
Yeah, Laiu Mokiola was the first one there. Couldn't bring him down.
3rd and 2. Hundley with all kinds of time. Decides to keep it, and look out. One good move. He's all the way down to the 3-yard line. Fiso makes the saving tackle for Arizona State.
Remember the name I said before? Russell Wilson-like. All the way to the opposite side of the field. He scrambles and then finds a running lane to get down inside the 5-yard line. Extraordinary play from the Heisman candidate, Brett Hundley.
Miles Jack has re-entered the game, as has Vanderdoos. Vanderdoos is a decoy, perhaps. Touchdown! Caught by Aese. 32, the fullback. And they used Miles Jack and Vanderdoos as decoys.
When those big bodies are in the game, the 305-pound defensive tackle and one of the best talents in America in Miles Jack, you have to honor that as a defense. And ASU did, and UCLA burned them because of it.
Kaimi Fairbairn for the extra point. Wow. Multitasking, multi-dimensional, modern-day internet athletes with deception right here.
I want you to watch what they're able to do with Aese right off the snap. He goes down and blocks, and that's when the linebackers get off of him, and they immediately start to chase running backs, and then he releases into the back of the end zone. That was an excellent job from the release from the fullback, and then Hundley deals with the pressure.
Vanderdoos carried a couple of backers with him for a step or two.
That's what he does. He's a defensive tackle, right? And this second quarter has been awful impressive from a team that most had in their Final Four. at the start of the year.
I did.
I did too.
Balaj is back deep and will be forced to take a knee. See if Mike Norvell gets creative and leans on Bercovici here. That pass is thrown behind his receiver, Gary Chambers, 81.
And now it brings up an interesting scenario with UCLA having all 3 of their timeouts left. If Arizona State wants to try to run the clock out, you might want to think about using your timeouts if you're Jim Mora to get Brett Hundley back on the field.
DeAndre Lewis has come back into the game out of the shotgun. Arizona State, 2nd and 10. That's a back shoulder throw that's caught by Jalen Strong. Good for a first down.
He's one of the best back shoulder fade runners in college football. And what amazes me is that that's a backup quarterback doing that. That's such a delicate pass. It's very hard to complete even for the most experienced guys. And Bercovici is making it look easy with Jalen Strong.
On first down. Working on him again against Priest Willis, the sophomore. Jalen Strong has now beaten him twice. Sideline back shoulder throws.
Man, there's no defense for that. Absolutely no defense. Jalen Strong is too strong and too good at that route. And Bercovici is just on fire.
Remember, UCLA gets the ball to open the second half. So this is a critical circumstance for Arizona State. Shallow cross. Very effective to DeAndre Lewis. He's got it down to the 30-yard line. They get 15 of the 20 back. Tim Brando alongside Joel Klatt, Jenny Taft, and Mike Barrera. The biggest game in the Pac-12 South so far this year. Happy to have you here in Tempe with us. On second down, Bercovici's pass is caught. It's a curl. Lewis is stopped about a yard shy. That's Cameron Smith on the receiving end. And they did give him the first down. A good that's an unbelievably good mark.
That was a generous spot.
I don't buy that one.
That wasn't the defense pushing him back. He was actually running backwards, and they gave him the initial forward progress. I think that was a bad spot.
But he gets a first down as a result. Quick out to Strong. And that could be another first down. It is.
When this
inside
offense,
the 15.
When this offense finds rhythm, it's so difficult to stop.
Ellis McCarthy, number 90, just checking into the game, the junior at tackle. Time winding down, and a very important series for Arizona State to close out this half. As I mentioned, UCLA will get the ball to open the second. Boy, if that was designed, it certainly didn't work. Bercovici, on what appeared to be a late quarterback draw, dumped.
And no timeouts. This is where that comes back to haunt you. My goodness, those wasted timeouts, and now you got a third down.
Norvell has been together with Todd Graham, that's his offensive coordinator, since his days at Tulsa. Part of that staff that included Gus Malzahn. Todd hired him as a offensive coordinator at Tulsa when Norvell was there, so a lot of tutelage from both of those gentlemen. Gus had left Arkansas at that point, on his way to becoming a head coach. That pass is picked off by Ishmael Adams. Look out. Talk about a turning point. Ishmael Adams will take it the distance. Touchdown, Bruins. And I go back to your point about timeouts. That entire sequence was hurried.
Yep.
You could see it on the sidelines, and it eventually got in Bercovici's head.
And there was no time to talk to the inexperienced quarterback about what he needed to do. There was no reason to force the football. A field goal is a quality ending to that drive. He forces the ball, and Adams ends up in the end zone.
Fairbairn with the extra point. Ishmael Adams loves to get in the opposition's face. Jordan Payton says he knows how to push your buttons. He'll get inside your head. This time, he was on the receiving end and can dance all the way home for 95 yards. And the Bruins with a 14-point swing to close this half. UCLA leads it by 10. Let's send you back to Los Angeles. Rob Stone and company for AT&T halftime. Coaches talk about this all the time. The way you finish a half, the way you start a half. I'm going to be conservative here, Joel Klatt. At the very least, we were looking at a tie game.
Yeah.
And instead, it's a 10-point deficit. And because UCLA gets the ball to open the half, that is huge, what happened at the end with Ishmael Adams.
It really was. Let's go back to that interception because it was actually a miscommunication between Mike Bercovici and his receiver, Cameron Smith. Here's a look at it real time. It looks like it's just a route gone wrong that Bercovici doesn't see him. But actually, it's two high safeties, and a middle read route should go to the back of the end zone or through the post. Bercovici sees a wide open middle of the field, and he believes at this point that Cameron Smith is going to come across the field rather than go through the end zone. Smith does the right thing, adjusts deep, ends up in the other end zone with a great play from Ishmael Adams.
Speaking of Ishmael, here he is with the opening kick, and he'll usher himself out of bounds at the 20-yard line. Let's go down to Jenny Tabb. Jenny?
Tim, thank you. I had the chance to catch up with both coaches. On the ASU side, Coach Graham, he told me that they can't miss these big tackles. They need to eliminate the big plays. Overall, he was happy with the defense, but at the end of the day, when you finish the half with 3 turnovers, that's no good. As for Coach Mora, he is very happy with what he's seeing from Hundley. Looked a little tight, but happy with the way he's playing.
Well, I'd say so after that second quarter. No question about it. This young Arizona State defense knew it had to take a few chances, and they got burned with some explosive plays, and that's what Todd Graham could not have happened. On the opening play of this half, out to Jordan Payton with markers down. He will take it all the way to the end zone. How about that to start the half? But we do have a marker down.
I think this is going to stand.
Yep. Holding defense number 10. The penalties declined. The result of the play, touchdown.
Quishy Brown, number 10, the corner, got called almost immediately off the line of scrimmage for a hold and kind of quit on the play. But Jordan Payton didn't quit.
No. No, he did not. And this, if you thought they were stunned to close the half, how about to open the second half? And this is some hole the Sun Devils have dug for themselves as a result.
That pass was on the money as well.
Yes.
Good thing Payton didn't stop. Fought through the hold. Quishy Brown stopped. Touchdown Bruins. Unbelievable. It's got to be a good feeling for Brett Hundley. First of all, Jordan Payton is the guy that he wants to throw the ball to. 19 catches coming in, 266 yards. Hundley is going to get that grab off out the outset. He's looking to his left, and when he comes back, there was the hold. The hold right there. Mm-hmm. You can see Payton was going down to the ground, but he fights through it. Quishy Brown stops, and now there's only one player to beat. Number 38, Jordan Simone. He gets knocked down, and Jordan Payton's in the end zone. What an excellent play.
That's Fuller's 7 downfield that made the block to spring him into the end zone.
Just another ball on the money, too. I tell you what, Brett Hundley has come out. He hyperextends his elbow, 12 days to go. And he's thrown 2 80-yard TD passes, led his team back from a 17-6 deficit in the course of 1 quarter. This is the UCLA team that all of us thought we were going to see at the outset of the year. They've been sensational since the second quarter started.
28 unanswered, 21 points in the last 2 minutes and 32 seconds, and Balaj will take a knee.
They're checking the play. They were overloading this left side of the defensive line.
Bercovici's pass, a shallow cross, a good one to Jalen Strong. As we said before, they've got big play capability. That's Jaleel Wadu with the tackle after a 19-yard gain.
Priest Willis and Ishmael Adams, number 15 and 1 for UCLA. They got caught up on that pick play over the middle, and that's what allowed Strong to be so wide open.
Exactly what they needed. First down. Well, he does have a rocket arm. That's a big league throw to Ellis Jefferson, number 19, redshirt freshman from Denton, Texas. And another first down.
And when he's allowed to throw in rhythm, he's very accurate when he's throwing on his feet.
That's Balaj. He has been dynamite tonight. Kalen Balaj puts Arizona State on the doorstep.
Yeah, that's a great answer, this drive from Arizona State. They desperately needed it after that second quarter of UCLA. And you got to credit Mike Norvell, the offensive coordinator, because what has he done again? Just like the first quarter, he's getting lots of players involved touching the football.
Balaj remains in the game. He'll take it off the little swing pass. Well read by the Bruins. Boy, when your mainstays are linebackers, and Miles Jack and Eric Kendricks are each linebackers, they go about it differently, but man, are they solid anchors in the center of your defense.
I think it starts with recognition, and Miles, even as a sophomore now, a true sophomore, is becoming better and better at recognition, both formationally, tendency-wise of the offense. That's what Coach Mora was telling us. But Kendricks and he diagnosed the play so quickly and then used their speed to get there.
Second and goal from the 15. Bercovici. Ad-libs. Pass is incomplete. Boy, Jalen Strong had a look at it. Well defended. He has 8 catches for 106 yards tonight. Could not reel that one in. Anthony Jefferson was right there with him. He had a pick earlier.
Yeah, Jefferson has done a great job, and he kind of had a hold of his left hand there. I don't think the back judge was able to see it, but I thought that could have been called a PI in the end zone. Watch him hold his left hand right there. That's interference, no doubt about it.
Gambled and won in that situation. Third down and goal. DJ Foster's come back in at running back. Bercovici looks to him. They flood the zone. Can he make something happen? He can. Solid one-on-one tackle there by Kendricks.
Kendricks using the sideline to his advantage. He took away the inside cutback from Foster and then closed to take him out of bounds. Excellent form tackle, because Foster is one of the best in the country, and they've held him in check. Tonight, out of the backfield, only 6 carries for DJ Foster for 15 yards. That's a guy who was 5th in the country coming into today with 170 rush yards per game.
Gonzalez with a 49-yarder earlier will try one of 24. Chip shot area for him. And they needed to get points. Anything good needed to happen there. Sun Devils go on 4th, keep it alive, and are now down 2 touchdowns. 34-20 our score. Arizona State with a lengthy drive to answer. And here's the kick to Ishmael Adams. He'll bring it out. No backup in this kick. Couple of moves. Wow. And look out. Wow. Can you say Ishmael? The last time I remember saying it, I believe his last name was Ishmael. That was a rocket. Touchdown, UCLA.
Right here.
You talk about bringing it. Having the attitude and the talent. This kid, he may have come up with a Charlie horse as a result. But give him some fluids. Give it to him quickly. What a performance at the end of the first half and the beginning of the second.
And exactly what Todd Graham said that they couldn't do. There were 2 things. The first thing he said is we have to win the turnover battle by 3+. They're losing it by 3. and he said they have to contain Ishmael Adams in the special teams. He killed him last year at the Rose Bowl. The Sun Devils survived and won this. It looked like he was swallowed up right around the 20-yard line. First of all, I like his decisiveness right now. He's going to cut vertically and get into the middle of the field. Use his blockers accordingly right there. Now it's all athleticism. The juke, oh my goodness.
That's unreal.
And back under. I'll tell you what. That's as good of a return. That's as good of a move as I've seen all season long. Ishmael Adams, he deserved a rest.
He's done it many times before. This is a tough group. Jim Morris said, no more gritty little Bruins. We are big time. We are strong. We are tough. We've got swagger. And right now, Ishmael Adams embodies all of that and then some. The Bruins with a return to sender by way of Ishmael Adams right there.
Unbelievable. Just explosive.
Balaj is back deep, and he'll bring it out. Stopped at the 29. DJ Foster in the backfield. Backside pressure, and the ball is loose. Vanderdoes is on top of it, it appears, or was. It may be one of his teammates. The backside pressure coming from Deion Hollins, 58, and pulling it out of there, 97, Kenny Clark rather than Vanderdoes.
On every defensive line room I've ever been, the position room, I've seen the word relentless. Watch this pressure on Mike Bercovici. It's just relentless rushing the passer. It didn't matter how long it took. Deion Hollins was going to get there, and he got the football out to boot. Right side of your screen, that's DeMaurier Nelson, the tight end. Wow.
Nathan Starks is coming to the game. Hundley's going to keep it and take it inside the 5. Did he get all the way in? I think he may. No, they're going to say not quite. To about the 1. Very close. Great read on the part of the veteran and Heisman candidate Brett Hundley. And they're going quick. Isai's in there. Nathan Starks as well. It is Starks, and he's got the touchdown.
The true freshman getting in the end zone from Las Vegas.
And that look says it all.
Tim, the UCLA Bruins broke out their all-white uniforms, and it's an avalanche in the desert.
Yes, it is. In a matchup that has come down to the last play each of the last 2 years with the Road Warriors winning. Fairbairn with the extra point. (48-20) to score. UCLA sensing a kill in the desert. Joel, let's check out our stat comparison presented by Geico.
Goes down to one number. 4 turnovers for Arizona State. That's the number that they talked about. That's the number that UCLA talked about. Mike Bercovici getting his first start. He's had his hand now in 3 of those. A couple of picks. One went back for a touchdown. The sack fumble on the last series. He's got to answer. Listen, 28 points is not insurmountable for an offense that can run this quickly, but they need desperately some positive momentum built quickly in this ball game if they don't want it to get away from them.
Kalen Balaj will let this one go through the end zone. DJ Foster in the backfield. Arizona State is an explosive team themselves. If you think that they are, as they say, calling it a night, forget about it. And we don't know how well UCLA can handle a full cup of success. They have been, as we said earlier, underwhelming in their victories so far this year. How they play with a lead is certainly in question. Foster again, dumped at the 39-yard line.
They've just done such a good job containing DJ Foster, and Foster is the guy. He's the catalyst for this Arizona State offense. Without him going, it's very difficult to create things on the perimeter. They've tried and spread the ball around very well, but at this point, they need him to break a long run in order to create space for some of those wide receivers.
2nd and 10. Nice look-in pattern to Cameron Smith. We mentioned earlier an emerging receiver for this team, has 1 touch earlier tonight. Gets them to a manageable 3rd and 2 coming up. Balaj is back in the game. Foster in motion, and they go to him the other way. That was a nice move, wasn't it? Goes in motion one way, then comes back the other. Marcus Rios, number 9, ushered him out of bounds.
Excellent play design from Mike Norvell. A lot of teams call that a disco motion, when you just cross the ball, then you speed out the same direction that you came from. And it's really difficult for the defender, who is taught that once you cross the ball, to speed up to try to beat you to the opposite tackle. They used that against him on the last play and create some space for Foster.
First down, Demario Richard is back in the game. Here's the question I have for Mike Pereira. And this is something that's come up. It's something we talked about at the beginning of the season. That 8th official that's not a part of the Pac-12 versus 7 and the other Big 5 conferences. Might that help the back judge?
No, not in this situation. Really, what it helps is the 2 line of scrimmage guys, because it takes them off the tackle. I think what you got to focus on is just what Joel has said: inside arm grabs. You have to look at the middle part of the body and not focus on the ball. And I think maybe that's how he missed both of those.
Foster cuts it back inside. Tony Corrente is here tonight, and we also visited with Larry Scott, the commissioner of the Pac-12, at halftime briefly. Miles Jack made the stop there. You know, the point was made, and I think it's a critical one, though. All coaches say we want the best officials we can get, and some would argue that the other conferences in going to 8, it perhaps waters down the efficiency of the other 7. It's an interesting debate, no question. 3rd and 6. Bercovici's pass cradled at the 6-yard line by Cameron Smith. Well, that's a beautiful catch right in front of Fabian Moreau.
He's got the accuracy. We've seen it several times, and on the in routes, you always want to throw that ball low, because as a wide receiver starts coming towards the safety, you don't want them reaching up high towards the safety and exposing their body. So that's an excellent pass from Mike Bercovici.
Bercovici lofts it to the corner. Touchdown, Ellis Jefferson. That was a nice play fake by Bercovici.
It sure was, and the answer that Arizona State needed. Down by 4 scores, they needed to score in a hurry, and that was an excellent drive, not only from Mike Bercovici, but Mike Norvell, the play caller, getting other people involved. And where did it start? Their explosive running back, DJ Foster.
Zane Gonzalez for the extra point. Low snap, but it's handled. Berco, 11 plays, 75 yards, 4:17 on the clock. And Bercovici finds Ellis Jefferson.
I love the ball placement there in the back of the end zone, away from the defense. There's no possible way that that's getting batted away. It's my guy or it's nobody is the philosophy of a quarterback at that one.
Lots of time to play, and many plays being run in the college game today. Well, this time it's Mossy Johnson bringing it out, and he gets it to the 25-yard line. Those little gritty Bruins no more are big, tough, strong. They've come with brawn from Westwood to get the job done tonight. The lead is big. The Bruins are happy, and the stats for Hundley are gaudy. But as we begin the 4th quarter, and Jordan James carries it out for almost a first down.
This is a real test drive for UCLA. You talk with any coach in the country, and they'll tell you great teams, not good, but great teams are the ones that are able to be effective in some aspect of the game when everyone knows that that's what they're going to do.
Wide receiver screen to Jordan Payton. Well, they gave up on the play. He keeps going and going. And is finally run out at the 13-yard line by Demarius Randall.
That was DJ Calhoun, another true freshman. Again, the inexperience here. He's number 4 for Arizona State. First the missed tackle. Here comes number 4, and he just kind of gives up on the play right there, and Peyton's still inbounds.
I mean, it wasn't even close. He was inbounds by more than a foot.
Boy, so much for burning the clock here. Just go ahead and score right away, I guess, if you're the Bruins.
Perkins trying to bounce it outside and lost his footing and fell behind the line of scrimmage back at the 4-yard line. But we talk about the balance and parity in some of these divisions and the power conferences, Joel, and the Pac-12 South is one of those that does have a lot of strength in it, but also some parity. Miles Jack has checked back into the game on 2nd and goal. Keeps those legs churning. He may have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but that was about it. I think they all knew he was about to get it.
Yeah, that's what they're going to face moving forward. You know, it was such a unique thing last year when they broke that out against Arizona. He had the long runs. He was the Pac-12 Freshman of the Year, both offensively and defensively. But now teams are starting to realize and learn that they're pretty one-dimensional with Miles Jack in the backfield, and there's only a couple of play calls that UCLA is using, and so defenses are just more effective against him.
Perkins comes back into the game on 3rd and goal. Going to Payton, back shoulder throw, touchdown. Oh, that was a missile coming in there.
It sure was, and they were attacking another true freshman. I sound like a broken record with all these true freshmen on the field defensively. But Armand Perry was the corner, and he had no shot because of the ball placement and velocity from Brett Hundley. All those NFL scouts next door in the press box are awful impressed with a throw like that.
Fairbairn for the extra point. Just watching Jerry Neuheisel take the snap, playing the role of holder again. You know, down deep, he's got to be thinking, if there is a November to remember, boy, did I have a September. You know, we wouldn't be talking about the Bruins being in the position they're in if he hadn't made a big-time play. There you see the line on Brett Hundley. And you could say the Heisman watch, the Nissan Heisman watch is underway. Who do you have on your ballot right now, Joel?
Well, I did this before the game. I might have number 17 for UCLA on there. I think Mariota is a pretty clear favorite after Georgia lost to South Carolina. And unfortunately for Todd Gurley, it wasn't his fault. Probably Mike Bobo should have given him the ball. But Kenny Hill, I think, would be on there. Amari Cooper has been sensational, leading receiver in the country. And Everett Golson has quietly put together a sensational season.
A very good point.
He looks absolutely fantastic. And you know what? There are some guys I wish I could have put on there, like Amir Abdullah from Nebraska, who I think is having a wonderful year. And
don't forget, Golson will get a crack at Florida State a little bit later on. Most think that might be the biggest hiccup that is in front of them that's linked. This little curl pattern, and again, a great catch by Jalen Strong. I mean, I think it's fun to talk about teams from week to week.
You know what I think is interesting about it is it's forcing people to evaluate teams based on what they see rather than just what the polls say every week.
That's right.
Which I do think is a positive development in college football with the way we analyze it.
Demario Richard. I mean, that's a headstrong run right there. You got those shoulders squared and pounded it.
I'll tell you, the future is so bright for ASU. Another true freshman. I know he's made some mistakes. He dropped the ball in the last series, but that was an impressive run.
Yeah, that was a touchdown that he dropped, too. Jefferson taking advantage of some loose coverage, finding a seam and taking it down to the 16-yard line of UCLA. First down. Bercovici looking for some help. Jefferson was coming back to the ball to try to help him out. He threw it down in the ground and lived to fight another day. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Both of these coaches represent a class of coaches that were hired not just nationally but specifically in the Pac-12. You know, after the 2011 season for the 2012 season. Jim Mora representing kind of a new era, and Don at UCLA. I know that he had the benefit of taking over a team that was quarterbacked by Brett Hundley, who was recruited by Rick Neuheim.
That's right. Pressure in the pass, another throw to the back shoulder, but incomplete for Balaj. And speaking of Rick, as you know, he is doing a wonderful job. We got a marker down. A wonderful job with the Pac-12 network, doing some satellite radio on Sirius
Personal
XM2.
foul, roughing the passer, defense number 99. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
Here comes the roughing. We'll show this to you so you can tell when it happened.
Matt Dickerson, 99, was the one called for it, but I think they could have also called Kenny Orgioki, who ended up getting hurt on the play, and he's the one that had to come off the field.
Tell me you didn't think of Rick shortly after that pass to Jordan Payton was thrown at Jerry World last week. You had to, right?
Absolutely. And I know most people that are college football fans have seen the picture of him watching the screen, watching his son getting lifted on the shoulders. Yeah, that's a great picture. That's what college football is all about. I know that UCLA got a little backlash from the folks down in Texas for lifting Jerry Neuheisel on the shoulders of his teammates. But Jim Mora explained it perfectly to us this week in our calls. That's college football.
Absolutely.
You know, that if you're not going to celebrate now when you're not getting paid, when are you going to celebrate?
Absolutely.
And that was a great explanation. I was happy for Jerry when they did beat Texas. I was happy for Rick as well. That's a tough situation when your dad gets fired.
You don't get to do that in the NFL. You get to do that in college. Absolutely. On 2nd and goal, Bercovici's pass incomplete. And to take it a step further, what he said that made so much sense to me was, hey, I was a coach's son. My dad got fired, and I've got kids, and my kids really don't like Seattle and Atlanta at all.
Right.
So when I talked to Jerry about staying, I understood how he must be feeling, and I felt some empathy. And I think that forged a buy-in, not only with him, but with the rest of the team.
I agree.
3rd and goal. Oh, that slant pattern is caught just shy of the end zone by Gary Chambers. That'll put it. The body was almost in, but the catch was just outside the end zone. Only inches away for 4th and goal here. All right, Bercovici's thrown it 65 times. This one should not be a throw. It's a bounce out and a stop. Balaj is stoned at the 4-yard line by Eric Kendricks. And the statement, even with yards given up, is once again made by this UCLA team tonight. Big and tough, and they lead by plenty. Owning the football, winning special teams, and limiting explosive plays. That was the plight of Arizona State. Massington going 82 yards. Ishmael Adams with a 95-yard pickoff return for a touchdown. Then came, oh, by the way, to start the second half, after Arizona State had gotten on the board, a 100-yard kickoff return. That set sail these Bruins, and might we see another? Perkins. He's got one man to beat. The cutback forces him down inside the 15. Wow.
This team is explosive.
That's 81 yards, by the way.
Wow, Perkins. He was given this feature role before the Texas game, and he rewarded his coaches with 126 yards on the ground in that ball game, 190 yards actually total yards in that ball game. But he's what has solidified this team and their ground attack. And as the offensive line becomes more cohesive, this is a group that's given up a lot of sacks, played a lot of young players in the last couple of years. And as they become more cohesive, Tim, this team continues to get better and better each game that they played.
James down to the 1.
all those quick scores led to all those snaps for Arizona State and the time of possession. Football is just so different now than it was even 10 years ago.
Hey, we got guys telling us they don't even, quarterbacks telling us now they're not even sure what the distance for the first down is. They're just running their stuff.
Or what the play clock says.
Yeah. James. They're going to give it to him. Yes, it's a touchdown, UCLA. Brett Hundley keeping it. James was in there to help block, but Hundley, he says with the brace, yeah, I've still got some strength. Wow, 61 points now for the Bruins. You think he may sit now?
I think now's the time.
Yeah, okay.
And I will say this was quite a statement from UCLA. A resounding statement from UCLA.
Fairbairn for the extra point. An incredible 81-yard run by Perkins set this one up. Everyone's eyes were focused. We're going to have another big play? Yes, you are. Hanging 60 plus. Tim Brando, Joel Klatt, Jenny Taft, Mike Pereira here in Tempe. They're emptying out now as UCLA takes complete control of this one in the second half. Balaj will bring it out from 3 yards deep. That pass is caught by Gamage out to the 44-yard line. If you're to take something away tonight for Arizona State, and I know they're hoping that they can have Taylor Kelly back as soon as perhaps even USC next week. We don't know.
Yeah.
And we probably won't know until a game time decision next week. But Bercovici has answered the call, hasn't he?
I think he has. I think the turnovers clearly hurt this team, including the ones from Bercovici. The one before the half I thought was a real backbreaker. This game, it really was a tie ball game at that point. All you got to do is kick a field goal.
But I go back to you were on the frivolous timeouts taken long before they were running out of time, and I thought there was confusion not just on the field but on the sidelines prior to that play.
I don't disagree. At some point, a coach has to just kind of allow his team to play through potentially a bad scheme defensively, because wasting timeouts for your defense really isn't a positive thing. And I would also say for Arizona State, the future is so bright.
Yes,
I said it once before, but all these true freshmen. And what I would take from this game now moving forward, the lights are going to continue to be bright at USC, Stanford, at Washington, all tough places and tough teams to face. Even Utah, obviously, is undefeated, just won at the Big House. This is a great example for a true freshman. This is a teaching moment now for Todd Graham, the former teacher himself, a high school teacher, to teach a true freshman that these stages become bigger and the game gets faster. And you've got to rise your level of play up to the level of the stage. And I don't think Arizona State did that with some of their young players. And clearly the stars were out brightly for UCLA.
College football has become, in the modern era, a game of matchups. On 3rd and 9, that pass is airmailed over Jefferson's head. And speaking of matchups, here's the guy that won the majority of his today, our Right Stuff Player of the Game, presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors, Ishmael Adams.
Boy, he was listed. He was the only player that was listed in the keys for Arizona State from their coaches. They said specifically, we can't let Ishmael Adams get loose today. Guess what Ishmael Adams was able to do? INT return, over 90 yards for a touchdown, and a 100-yard kickoff return. And he's still talking down
Our
there.
director, Doug Freeman, cannot take a cutaway shot of him with him not talking. 4th and 9. Thrown underneath. It was caught by Cody Cole, who had a touchdown catch earlier in the evening, but they lose it on downs.
Let's take a look at this explosive player from UCLA. It was this play, Tim, that I thought changed the whole complex of the game. Arizona State driving for a go-ahead score before the half. At worst, a field goal to tie it up, and then the kick return.
That stop and go right there. Oh my. We were mesmerized. We were.
What a game from the Bruins.
It does not come down to a final play in 2014 as it did in 2012 and 13. The two coaches, both with great energy and enthusiasm, both beginning at the same time, and each during that 3-year span have come away with Pac-12 South titles. Congratulate one another. Well, for Joel Klatt, Jenny Taft, and our entire Fox Sports crew, I'm Tim Brando. The final score from Tempe, 62-27 UCLA. Fox Sports Live now with Jay and Dan starting in LA.